when we were carrying pictures with us, let's say, to the second stage, to the final jury, with the two sections that is features, sport features and sport action. I'm not dividing them as in singles and series, but just the major two main topics, two main categories. We we try to judge them, three of us with two of my colleagues, in its very different way. Why very different way? Because first of all, competition rules is mentioning these differences between the two categories. In the future one, we looked at two different things. One is technical ability of the photographer, of the photographer. This is important. Also the storytelling capacity, because when it's a feature, you want to tell a story, you want to tell something with your picture, but also the creativity. Do not repeating neither early years or in the same context, and not the same picture, similar picture, but the different ways. We just want to see the differences of the creativity. In the sport actions, there's something else. Beside of this general photography rules like creativity and also the photographer's technical knowledge, but in this case, you're coming to the decisive moment. Because in sport actions, we try to find also the decisive moment and the peak moments of the sport action situation. It's not mean this it always need to have a flying people in the pictures, but the thing is that sometimes a decisive moment in a sport photography is this is the, like Henri Cartier-Bresson said, the decisive moment in photography. It's not have to be always the street photography. In sport photography as well, we have to follow the main rules of the photography on the documentary. Now we can document street, document the life, or document the sport. In this case, this decisive moment which we were looking for the picture. I saw some really, really high quality images, really, really, really good ones. And some of them was like just for applying to a competition. It was a little bit sometimes sad because do you realize how the market, how the professional photography market is conducting the photographers to be not forced but to be driven to produce their pictures in a different way, and after they need to motivate that or they need to change that to the competition way, and actually it's need to be quite matching to each other when it's come to the final stage. This was the, especially myself, is one of the struggling points to with the facing with the pictures, using several type of trends. One is topic trends. These topic trends can be in two way. One way is, oh, let's do it this because this won last year. This is typical mistake, which I can say. The second trend is story trends. Without mentioning the story, okay, this is going to be happened. In this case, this can be win. Sport photographers, they call some years the full years, some call years the empty years. 2013 was an empty year, not really empty, but there was no World Cup, there was no Olympic Games. 2014 there's an Olympic Games, or 2012 there was an Olympic Games. That's why the 2013 it was giving the possibility to focusing a little bit more different coverages, because obviously in Olympic Games years it's going to come the plenty of the Olympic Games pictures. This trend is actually is like a hurdle, or is like a little bit limitation for the photographers, because they start looking to the situation, oh, let's follow this trend and it's going to make it. Who's not following the trend, who's following his own soul or his own idea, has a shine of the differences. There is a charm of that story or the picture, because it's not following the trend, it's not like everybody, it's different. You're also realizing this technical trends, for instance, shooting color, changing to black and white. It's a very standard thing. But you suddenly realize, especially when the pictures comes back to back, you suddenly realize a photographer who already planned in black and white or a photographer shoot in color and realize, as a color picture is not a very good one, let's make it the black and white and it's look like a better. You immediately see that. After a level of a professionality, a photographer can see, any of photographer can see which is planned like that or is modified later on. I'm not saying this as a technical rule modification. I'm telling this as a language of the photography. But I'm feeling lucky to be still an active photographer and also to be part of this competition in a judging process. You just have a chance to realize what a globally looking the whole photo world. And also it's a huge responsibility because you are part of the competition, which is giving a kind of a direction or giving the signals to the world, to the photography world. You just realize, I think we need to push ourselves a little bit more to push the limits to the better one for everybody's sake.